Hello and welcome to a Rarely Rad. Haley and Isabel are back and ready in action. I wanted to discuss the breakup Facebook posts that we were looking at last night.
Oh yeah, that's
Y'all,
wild.
so we don't know this person. Our friend knows this person. And they posted, let me pull it up, on their Facebook for everyone to see. She posts the status. In response to the overwhelming amount of texts I've received, it's easier to address it here. Yes, his name, and I are broken up. Yes, he admitted that he was cheating on me with one girl since March of 2022. Yes, she is a former stripper. Yes, he gave her over $68,500 in less than 10 months. Yes, he admitted to cheating on me with a second girl since August 2024. Yes, he is now engaged to her. Yes, his fiance is on OnlyFans. Warning, it's pretty raunchy. OnlyFans link. Or you can see more censored content at a threads.net link. Yes, she lives in Argentina. Yes, I'm shocked, blindsided, and devastated. After spending 1/3 of my life with this man, it is a heartbreak I never imagined.
So the Argentina girl is definitely using him for a green card.
Also,
Didn't even live in the United States.
100%. And he's given her over $68,000.
I want to know I wonder if that was like a loan. I really hope that wasn't like their joint savings.
That's more money than I made on my W-2 last year.
Like that's I mean that stripper, I mean either or, like I don't know. I don't even know. I mean the OnlyFans girl, that's obviously like an online relationship. I mean maybe she's flown up once or twice. But like let's be honest, she lives in
I mean,
Argentina.
he clearly proposed somehow.
Virtually, maybe?
I feel like they've had, but also like, so the girl that posted this, like, she is successful. She's a lawyer, and clearly I didn't sound like they were ever engaged. It sounded like they were dating.
Oh, I thought it sounded like they were married.
Maybe, but she doesn't say. She just says yes. Him and I are broken up.
I don't
So
know why
because
I just assumed they were married for some
I think
reason.
she would have said like, are filing for divorce. With the amount of detail she put into this, I feel
Yeah.
like she would have like completely clarified like blah blah blah. And but if he gave her over $68,000, like he had to be making some decent money too.
Yeah, I mean, he has think about it, like, he has 3 girlfriends at one point because he's cheating on the 2022 girl with the 2024 or 3 whatever, the OnlyFans girl too, plus his actual girlfriend.
In the United States.
Yeah. I also respect her for posting that because I think if you're one of those people that, like, shares about your relationship every single day, I need to like, I'm involved, like, this is our relationship, like, thank you for telling me what happened. Because the people that, like, share everything about their relationship and then break up, and it's
And then
like
they just suddenly like delete all the posts like they never dated. And it's just like, so anyway, new boyfriend.
yeah, and it's like, where'd that happen? There's a girl that used to do that in England, and I used to, like, go onto her Facebook picture or profile almost every day because she would post, like so she got pregnant at, like, 14,
Oh gosh.
and they have 5 kids together, and she is 28, 29. They broke up when I mean, she must have been, like, 26, but yeah, they had 5 kids together. Now she has another kid. And then maybe it was 4 kids, and now they're on their either way, she has a lot of kids. And, like, he was actively cheating, and she's like I remember one time she's like, "Oh my god, he's dancing with another girl at the bar." I mean, he was actively cheating, and she, like, is at home raising the kids, and, like, she was very open about it, and they were engaged, and, like, they were
she
more
kind
engaged in the
of,
sense of, like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, we're more serious, like, not because they were gonna get married type of thing.
she kind of sounds like one of those people like, well, maybe if I give him another child, he'll stop cheating.
Maybe. I mean, I also don't know how, like, I think she was just also extremely unaware of the cheating, like, genuinely, when, like, everybody else kinda knew.
I I can't imagine. Oh, speaking of, I got a notification today on my phone that today is P's birthday. I was like, "Well, that's funny." I
Um,
was like, "I
yeah,
wonder who's celebrating that this year."
yeah, well, that guy I was just saying, like, he then got a girlfriend, and now he's engaged again, like, a year later. So I think that might have been, like, a long-term thing.
I just can't even imagine. Oh, we saw this one girl this past weekend. I don't know who she is. And she was like, we were going out to the bars and she was talking to a lawyer and with her friend, and our friend that I was with was like, "Oh, I know who that girl is. She dates this guy." But before she started dating him, she was dating his best friend. And she dated his best friend for years. And then she broke up with him and started dating his bestie. And she was like, "Oh my God." And she pulls it up and all the posts were deleted and stuff. And so she was like, "Well, guess they also broke up." And so she ruined that friendship and is also single again.
That reminds me of the girl we went to high school with that we played lacrosse with, and she wore gloves, and you hated her.
Yeah, I called her
You did,
glove.
yeah. She dated this guy, and they dated for, like, a year or 2, and then they broke up, and, like, a month later, she's dating his best friend.
I don't even remember her dating anyone. I just didn't like her because she wore gloves, and I was like, "You pussy ass bitch."
What was his name? I think I remember his first name. I'll message it to you.
Yeah, I don't remember her dating anyone. Oh, the guy with the eyes.
Well, that was the one that they were best friends, and then she started dating the guy with the eyes.
Yeah, yeah. And they were both in my grade though. She was
Yeah,
dating
she
she
was
was
in
in your.
my grade.
Yeah. Yeah, that girl just kinda sucks. And then she had a younger brother, and she just she thought she was hot shit, and she just wasn't, and I think that's why I felt like I needed to be like, "Settle down, you wear gloves. Girls don't wear gloves in the cross. You
She
suck."
was really weird about my friend's boyfriend. One of my really good friends from high school, she dated this
The
guy
one
all.
you're not friends with anymore, or the one you are
No,
friends with?
I'm the one I'm still friends with.
Okay.
And her boyfriend played lacrosse too, and he had classes with her, and she would say the weirdest things to him. She'd be like, "Oh, I bet your girlfriend's gonna be jealous of the prom dress I'm gonna wear." Like,
What?
weird thing, yeah.
She was one of those girls, I think she seriously took, like, Laxstitute like, actually serious.
She was the ultimate pick me.
But, like, Laxstitute pick me, because even both of those names that she dated, they both played lacrosse. Her little brother played lacrosse. Like, she wanted to be, like, the hot, like, "I play lacrosse," and then she wore gloves, and I was like, "You're not even good,
Yeah, she
chill."
played lacrosse and would, like, only date lacrosse players.
Yeah, but she wasn't good, and I didn't
No, I
like
know.
it.
And then, yeah, her brother, and you know what was the weirdest thing? And, like, my friend and I, so, you know how she would post pictures of her brother, and then she had, like, a baby brother.
Oh, yeah, but no one really knew that they had, like, a baby brother.
No, everybody knew they had a baby, but nobody knew she had a sister.
Oh, see, I don't even think so there was 3 of them?
There's 4 of them.
Oh god, I only knew
I
of the
know,
sis.
and, like, I did deep digging on this because my friend was like, she, like, looked it up, and she was like, "I think this girl has a sister," and I was like, "No, she always posts about her little brother because her little brother was, like, 4, like, young, and then her high school brother, and then there's a sister that was, like, middle schoolish,
You know,
and their family photos, and she would not be in a lot of them, like, the one I was even lurking her mom's Facebook, and, like, the daughter wouldn't be in, like, a lot of the pictures. It was so weird, and then I was like, "I wonder if they, like, sent her off somewhere." 'Cause she was, like, I mean, not to be, like, rude, I looked her up, and she kinda looked, like, weird. Not in, like, a she had, like, super frizzy, weird hair.
I don't think a lot of people knew I had a little sister.
Yeah, but she was, I mean, her mom's even posting family pictures, and the
Yeah,
other
that
sister's missing.
yeah, that does get weird. But I will say, and that's weird especially at that age, because like, now we'll post family photos without someone, but that's because, like, we all are adults, and so we live across the country, so we're not
Yeah.
all together on Thanksgiving, and we're not all together on Christmas, or I mean, even just now when I went home for my dad's birthday, like, my sister wasn't gonna fly home from the West Coast for my dad's birthday, like, that would
Yeah,
be silly. But, like, as a child, like, that's weird that she wasn't
and,
included.
like, the pictures would be like, "Love my family," and, like, the girl isn't in it. And then, like, occasionally she would be one, and then, like, randomly, I was lurking her the other day, and I went to check. I was like, and then yeah, the sisters and like some pictures and stuff. So I'm like, why were they like hiding this sister?
Yeah, I don't know.
Even the parents are hiding her. Like that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if she was like a child of like cheating.
I
Of
don't
a
know. I mean, they were a very wealthy family.
Yeah, it just reminds me of my crazy ex from high school. Like they were a weird family too. Like
Yeah.
there was the 3 kids and like the one I dated was just like stoner boy and then his sister was special and then his youngest brother was just like skater quiet dude and then his mom was just like a hot milf. And then his dad was like a successful dad, but then like I think they were both cheating on each other. It was this whole thing
I remember he
always.
got like a DUI.
Did he?
The
Oh, the
dad,
dad?
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And then there was like I don't even know if it was a rumor or if it was true, but like apparently his mom was cheating on the dad with like the young like jujitsu coach or something.
What?
Yeah, I don't really know, but she was hot, and so it kinda made sense. The whole thing was always confusing because even, like, when I was in that crazy relationship, it was, like, 1 second things were great, the next second things weren't good. Then I remember I literally on my 21st birthday, he called me and he's like, "My parents are getting a divorce." And then here I am crying on my 21st birthday, and I'm like, "Why did you have to tell me that an hour before my birthday party?" Like,
Yeah.
this couldn't have waited, like, this day's about me, I don't get this day back.
Yeah. That is weird.
Yeah, and then I don't really know. The funniest thing, though, is that they have a house down in Jupiter, Florida, and so him and I went to it one time. He didn't tell me that he didn't tell his parents we were going to it until we were, like, an hour and a half on our way, and then he called his mom and was like, "Where's the spare key? Haley and I are going to the house," and obviously his mom was like, WTF. And I'm
Yeah.
over there also like, WTF. I didn't know you didn't tell them we were coming here.
Yeah.
Uh, that house is literally across the street from Burnett's family's house.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, because when I went there, not this past New Year's Eve, but the year before, I like pulled up my photo map like that Apple does, where you can see like where you've taken photos. And
Yeah.
obviously I have like random photos from when we went to that house. And it was literally like her parents are in like a neighborhood, and then there's like the main road, but the main road is like not even as big as like I'd say Lockwood. Like
Yeah.
it's a small road. And then they're like right on the other side. I ran by the house. I couldn't really recognize it though, because like that was so long ago. But
Yeah.
wow.
I think for me, the craziest Oviedo story is the girl that I used to be really close with that we're not friends anymore. So she told me this. I don't know how like true it is, but it seems kind of true. So this girl, her dad was the mayor of Oviedo in like my freshman year, my sophomore year of high school. So your freshman year. He had like I had a wife and the daughters were both hot. I think there was 3 daughters. I guess the daughter that was in your grade, was dating like an older guy. I think he was like 18 maybe. I don't know. He was older, I remember. And her mom walked in on them having sex and then joined them. And then the dad walked in. They moved to Virginia and filed for divorce. I don't know what the relationship is now. But yeah.
That town, there's just so many weird things that like I don't think anything normal happens in Oviedo.
It's so
Truly.
I was just like, dude, that's weird.
There was just so many like, one of our teachers was also the bartender at the Applebee's. That was weird. Then the one teacher that got arrested for having children porn.
He gave me a ride home from school once. I was friends with his daughter.
His daughter was in my grade, and he had another daughter, like, a year younger.
Yeah, I went to, like, her graduation party. Like, I was, like, friends with her.
Yeah, like, there was just so many weird things in that city.
Yeah, so he got arrested for, like, child pornography. He was, like, quote, unquote, dating, like, a 16-year-old in North Carolina and, like, he would, like, send her things, and she would, like, model it, and then he send her pictures and like return, like a
Yeah.
weird transaction thing. Obviously, so this is the crazy part to me. I like looked into it and it was like 1991. He lived in like Michigan or something like that, Minnesota. And yeah, the FBI was like onto him for child pornography.
What?
And then he like, I guess, found out that they were onto him, so he moved state, but because it wasn't like federal, it was like the state FBI, they like lost track of him. But I'm like, this guy is like, there's like records, and like we're just hiring this man.
It's like, I feel like it's crazy. Just I was thinking about this yesterday when I was just driving home. It is so easy for us to be in touch with people from like far away at this point in time. And I just can't imagine, like, I mean, heck, we record a podcast with you up in New York and me in Georgia. And that just like wasn't a thing 20 years ago.
I mean, Skype, but yeah, no, not podcasts weren't even a thing like 20 years ago.
Like, and just like to be able to text someone, like, because, and the reason why I started thinking about this is because this house that I passed by, they, I guess, just had a freaking baby. And so they have one of those big ass birds on like in their front yard that's like with the little baby, and it says like, I guess they had a little girl and they named it McKay. And then they have a son apparently named Parker, because then Parker has a little sign that says proud big brother. And then I guess they have a dog too, because then there's like another little thing that says something about a dog. It has a dog name on it, because at first I thought that, oh, it's named Pepper. And I was really confused because at first I thought that the child's name was Pepper and like the last name was McKay, because McKay is not a normal name, but also Pepper's not either. So the confusion was everywhere. And I'm just driving by it really fast. And I was thinking about it and I was like, people still do these things. Like and then what do you do with this big ass stork that you have? Like,
dude, they're coming back too. I'm seeing a lot more of those. I thought it was called a stalk.
I think it's storks.
Yeah, I think it's a stork. I see them a lot.
Like, but like, what do you do with it? Like, oh, this is going in your playroom, and they're huge. I swear to God, this thing is like 5.
Oh, they're like 7 feet tall or something. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, and
how much do they cost? Like, who's like buying that?
I have no idea. Like my that's how my mind started going, and then I was just like, what is the purpose of this thing? And can you repurpose it? Like, do you like peel off the name and like use your Cricut to like print out a new one and like, hey, congrats on you having a baby? It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants, except it's a stork that you like pass around.
When my friend had a baby, some of her friends bought her one of those stores, and they like surprised her when she came home. But then, yeah, I'm like, what did you do with that afterwards? Especially like they live in like a little townhouse. Like this is like uptown Charlotte area, like kind of near
it's
where I live.
Actually, in our living room.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, that's weird. Yeah, what do you do with that? And then I guess they'll have more kids. But then, what if it's a boy? Because the pink one's for girls.
Yeah, well, and so then again, my mind's just rolling, and I was like, what is the purpose of this these days? Like, to tell your neighbors you had your baby, but do you not, like, if you are friends with your neighbors and you want your neighbors to know the baby's born, like, do they not have you on Facebook?
Not even that. Do you even know? You don't even have to know your neighbors. Have you left the house and accidentally run into them? You're huge.
Like it wasn't making sense. I was like, if you wanted your neighbors to know so badly that your baby was born, like, you would just tell them. You don't need
it's one of those things like people do for you.
I don't know.
Don't do that for me.
That's just where my mind started racing with it, and I was just like, I can't believe people still do these things. And then they have the stork.
The one that gets me is like, I see it in my parents' neighborhood. It was like, there's a giant thing. It says like, congrats, so-and-so class of whatever year, 2025. And it's like, you graduated high school. Like, do you want an award? You did the bare minimum. I don't understand the hype around graduating high school, because honestly, you should be graduating high school. If you're like, I understand there's situations, but like in my parents' neighborhood, you have no reason to drop out of high school. And like, you know what I mean? You're doing the bare minimum. Why was
I agree. I do understand the ones when they do it for like their like kids like birthdays, like happy 8th birthday. I do think that's like exciting to come home to like from school and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like it's in the front yard. This is exciting. Woo! I do understand that, I think, but yeah, the high school one, I don't fully understand.
Or like the kindergarten. It's like really like all you have to do is show up.
I feel like kindergarten graduation's kind of cute though.
Yeah, but you don't need like a huge sign. I think that's something like I don't know. The high school, I think I'd be embarrassed too.
Yeah, I don't really understand the high school. I understand the like younger birthdays. And then I guess I understand if any of them are like if you're 13 or younger. 13's
Cuteness.
okay, is because like 13 is like you're becoming a teenager.
Yeah, I can kind of see college, but I'm also like, don't you aren't you like a little outgrown for that? I
I
think you can do other stuff with college. I think you can get one of those little flag that's like just a little flag with like the college that you're
well,
on and like class of congratulations instead of those big ass.
well, and I think you could even do that for high school though, of like, congrats, he's going to Auburn type of
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Versus
fine.
see, and making it more like, oh, they're going here, than making it like they finished high school. Woo! Because like
Yeah, like
we all
we're
did.
celebrating our kid going to college, not our kid graduating high school.
Yeah, because you really don't have to do much to graduate high school.
Yeah, and like I said, in my parents' neighborhood, like I can understand it's different in like lower income households where like the kids have to work and that becomes like, but like in my parents' neighborhood, like none of those kids should have an excuse to not graduate high school. So two things. So I actually coincidentally was at the bar and was talking to this girl who ended up going to high school with us. Like, what were the chances? And because I was like, you look kind of familiar. She's like, okay, I went to UF. I was like, oh, like I didn't, but like I'm like from Florida. She's like, oh, we're in Florida. I was like, oh, like right by UCF. And she's like, oh, what high school did you go to? I was like, oh, Hagerty. And she's like, oh my goodness, me too. And she's like, my name is whatever her name was. And I was like, that sounds so familiar. Like it took me, I was like, why? Like that, it's ringing a bell. And then I was like, oh, like I remember who you are. Cause like her and I technically went to elementary, middle school, and high school together.
Because she's in my grade, right?
Yeah. My friend that I'm not friends with was like kind of friends with her. So like we had like a little bit of that overlap and I think they like lived in the same neighborhood or something. But this is coincidentally we like kind of talked about high school then and we brought up how like weird it got after we left. One of the teachers got caught soliciting a prostitute. The dean actually of the school got solicited. Did you not realize he was the dean?
No.
Yeah, he got promoted to dean at that point of the school and he got caught soliciting a prostitute, which I feel bad for the kids. Like imagine going to school the next day and your dad like is like all over the news and he like works at the school. That's embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Like with the other girl where the dad was like a pedophile, like that's like I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like the prostitute one, like that's just like God, my dad can't get laid.
Was he was he married?
I think so. That's like the other thing too. It's like he was married.
Yeah, because then that's real bad. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough.
Like, you do you, like, I don't really have any problem with prostitutes. I feel more bad for the kids than anything.
Yeah,
And then
well, since he's married, then it's like, yeah, that's really bad.
yeah, no, since he's married, but I'm saying like in general, I'm like, I don't think you do you,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. The other one that she brought up and like I kind of forgot about, and then I was like, wait, that was weird, was a substitute teacher. That was also somebody's brother that was in your grade, then dating somebody like a year after. Yeah. And now
Yeah,
they're married. I think that's weird too. There's a big age and like he was teaching her.
wait, he married a girl a year younger than me.
Was she a year younger than you?
Yeah, her initials are AV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a year younger than me. Because I remember she had this like weird obsession with my crazy ex. And I was always like, what?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, like, why are you trying to get with my man? And then she married him. Not my man, the old not prostitute, the old substitute.
Yeah, and that's like a 10-year, which that's fine. It's just weird that he was her teacher.
Yeah. It reminds me of the guy that coached lacrosse.
Yeah,
That
that
one was
too.
weird too. There was our head lacrosse coach was a dad of two of our lacrosse players, and he hired an assistant coach. And the assistant coach, he was young, but he ended up marrying the head lacrosse coach's oldest daughter, which we can't figure out if they're still married or not via
Yeah,
social
we were
media.
looking into it. It kinda doesn't look like it, but he's also in the army, so he could be, like, abroad or something.
Yeah,
Um,
like deployed.
yeah. But, yeah, it was also weird because, like, looking back at it, like, he was, like, hitting on some of the girls.
He was hitting on the younger daughter.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that.
The younger daughter and him had a very odd relationship.
Well, she
Like,
was like, "He's like my brother." I'm like, "Mm."
yeah, it was like, yeah, you guys are acting. That's not how I act with my brother.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
And
That you
then,
guys.
yeah, and then he was like then he just, like, randomly I think we saw it on Facebook or something, that's how it was like we were like, "What?"
Yeah. Again, it was just such a weird town, and even now, like you just look at it, and it's just constantly another person marrying another person that was in a different grade level, and this and that. I mean, we just had one couple, which I stand by this couple. I like them together, but they were in other relationships, and then cheated on those other relationships, and then started seeing each other. He
Yeah,
just became a pastor.
which is so weird.
And the girl, I think, even knows it's weird because when she announced that he became a pastor, her, like, Facebook post was like, "Never would have expected that I'd be married to a pastor, but
Yeah,
so
she's like, "If
excited
you knew us in high school, you would know this is weird." I'm like, I don't know you now, but I still think it's weird."
Like, I understand you might have changed, but no."
Yeah, and I'm like, how you must have changed a lot."
I mean, I think they definitely did just based on, like, who they're all friends with, but every single one of their friends is basically married to a Hagerty alum.
Yeah, I, saw it was, like, came up I was, Venmoing somebody, I guess, or sending a Venmo request the other day, I can't remember what it was, and this one girl, popped up, and I was like, "What the heck?" And I think she might be married now, but her nudes got leaked all over school, and I like, saw her butthole. Like,
Dude, do you remember we had a nude website?
that's how I saw them, and I'm like, "You're married? Dude, like, I've seen your butthole."
There was a whole website that literally was, like, every single girl's nudes. Every single
Yeah,
girl. I mean,
that's actually
obviously
really messed up
not us because
of
we did
us.
not do that.
Yeah.
No one wanted ours.
You know? But people would, like, go on there and request.
Yeah, and be like, "Anyone have this one?" I remember one time, one of my friends, she's now and we're not friends anymore. We had a class together and we were pretty close there. She's married to that one guy that used to, like, slide in your DMs all the time, I feel like. They have 2 kids now. No, different guy. Never mind. Anyway, she's married to a guy that we went to high school with. They have 2 kids now. And we were like social studies partners. And all of a sudden she was posted on there. And I was like, whoa, kind of looking at her different these days. And I was kind of shocked and I didn't know what to say. And then, and so I didn't say anything because I'm very uncomfortable. And then the next day she was like, oh my God, I found out that, like, this guy took this picture of me. I didn't even know this picture was out there. And he, like, it's now on this website, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I saw it. And she was like, you didn't tell me. And I was like, no, like, what was I supposed to say?
Right. I remember a lot of relationships ended then too, because it was, like, girls that were sending pictures to other guys. This one girl that I don't know if we were friends, but her boyfriend was friends with my then high school boyfriend, and she took, like, a naked picture, and it got uploaded up there, and, like, he's in the background, like, it wasn't for him, and then they broke up, like, right after that.
Was like best friends with a girl that was younger than us at one point. And y'all, her nickname was literally K Dome because she was giving everyone head. And she literally loved that her nickname was K Dome. She thought it was so cool. And she was
I
like,
remember that.
she was like 2 years younger than me. And then for some reason, so we had like an upper class lunch and a lower class lunch. And one and she loved I'd actually say the upper class men loved her because she was just slobbing around. And one time she walked through the upper class lunch and she got a standing ovation.
That's embarrassing.
But she loved it. She thought it was so cool. And now I swear, I think she's a porn star.
No way.
Have you not seen any pictures of her like since high school?
I've saw one like didn't she get like a boob job? She was like a stripper or something.
Dude, that's not a boob job. I mean, yeah, technically, but those things are watermelons.
I remember, yeah, I just remember like they were whatever the pictures were. I was like, I remember she like didn't look like her. I didn't recognize her. I think she got like her lips done.
She got like big Bratz doll lips. She went like platinum blonde,
right? Yeah.
And then I swear to God, she might have gotten F boobs. Like they were not even triple D's. They were enormous. They literally looked like someone taped melons to her chest.
And she was a small girl.
Yeah, very small girl. And but yeah, nothing really surprises me from her at this point because she then, well, while we were besties, she tried to date the guy that she knew I was trying to date. And then she lied to me after she got hickey from him and said she burned her neck on a straightener. And I was like, babe girl, I know what straightener burns look like. And that ain't it. And yeah, then she actually tried to bully me on Tumblr. I remember that. That was a fun time. And she did something else that was just like so absurd. And I was she kept sending the same nude to multiple dudes because she was like, I think it'll be so funny if like two guys are like talking and they're like, yeah, I have a nude from her too. Oh, I have a nude from her too. Let's swap. And then it's the same one. That'll be so funny.
Is it?
I was like, I think we might have different styles of humor.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm not sure this is something that would make me laugh.
Yeah. Another one that is now married, they were like high school sweethearts technically, but they cheated on each other all the time. Like they dated and then she like lost her virginity to another guy, like cheated and like and now they have like 2 or 3 kids together and they're married. And I'm like, dude, why?
Is that the ones in your grade?
Yeah, I think he might be older, a year above me, but she's in my grade.
This isn't normal at other high schools, right?
It's so weird. I hate our
Like,
school.
there's no way. Like, I know people are like, oh yeah, people all in my high school date each other, but I swear, like, this can't be normal.
I think it's because so many of them went to college in the same town and then because like looking at it, I feel like none of them really joined like Greek life or anything. So they just stayed friends with their high school friends.
Well, and I felt like the ones that did join Greek life, they then also had like people from Hagerty would join the same like sorority. And so then they were just like still friends, just in a sorority, friends together. And then they lived together.
Like a couple other people maybe in there, like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always how it is. I feel like it'll be like a group of like 8 girls and it'll be like 6 of them went to high school with us and then there's like 2 randoms, but they like went to Lake Mary, like the high school like on the road.
They like probably knew them in high school too. Like
they actually knew each other. They just didn't go to our high school. They moved in 8th grade.
For real. Yeah. Or like they went to middle school. Yeah, like I don't know. That's like the only thing that makes sense to me is like that they are all went to same like college together.
Again, it's
just imagine living there at this age.
Yeah, me either. I will say when I went back to Florida, like I guess now almost a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. I love going back to Florida like this time of year because the weather's perfect. And it's like when my mind starts thinking like, "Ooh, maybe I could live down here again," and then I'm like, "Absolutely not, Haley." Like, you would only
Who would
like it.
you how would you who would you be friends with? Like, how do you make friends in Oviedo, Florida?
I mean, I wouldn't move to Oviedo in general.
I almost would wanna do it as, like, an experiment.
I don't even know, like, I can't even imagine what people in Oviedo do, and I almost imagine it as, like, people that grew up in, like, Atlanta, and they're probably like, "Oh, yeah, we went to this bar when I was in 10th grade." I don't know, that's how I see it, and so I'm sure people have it for every single city that they're in, you know? Or, like, that they grew up in.
Yeah. I don't know. Orlando is just, like, also just, like, not a city to me.
I do like I mean, I don't spend too much time downtown, but when I have been downtown, like, it has been cool, and it's so different than, like, Oviedo, because Oviedo's so college, but it's also downtown's not close.
I also just I don't know, I feel like in downtown there's, like, 4 tall buildings.
I think there's a little bit more than that because there's, like, Church Street.
I can't remember, it's been so long. But I feel like when I was in high school, there was, like, 2 or 3 high rises.
No, no, it's a bigger city than that, and it, like they have Lake Eola and, like, Church Street's a cool street to be on since, like, it's closed and you can walk from, like, bars and restaurants and stuff. So, like, there's cool areas, I'd say, like, downtown, but even then, I don't think anyone that we know, like, is actually living down there. They're, like, in Oviedo.
Yeah, I'll see, like, a couple occasionally, like, down, like and also I'm like, "Why would you live in downtown Orlando?" Like, go to Tampa.
Well, and that's what that reminds me of a girl that we went to high school with. She just got married, like, what, this past weekend? And they went on their honeymoon to Key West, and I did judge that a little bit.
That's your bachelorette spot.
I just, like as I like, we texted about this, but, like, if it's your second marriage, I totally get it. You know, like, you're 45, like, "Oh, let's just go to Key West, like, this will be so fun, it'll be the beach, there's drinking, enjoyable, whatever." There's a lot of old people in Key West, so, like, why not go where people your age are, have fun, be a beach bum like Key West people are. So, I get it then. I get it maybe if you didn't live in Florida. Like,
I just don't look at Key West as, like, a honeymoon place. Like, for me, it's like a party place.
yeah, like,
Like,
that's
when I
going
think of, like,
to more
honeymoons, I'm thinking, like, tropical or maybe, like, Italy, like, Europe, or, like, something like I'm not thinking Key West.
if I okay, here's the thing. If I was doing a honeymoon in the United States and maybe they wanted to do it close, go to 30A.
Yeah.
Go to, like
Honeymoons, I feel like in my mind, I always just consider them as, like, a relaxation after everything.
yeah, but even, like, go to, like, I don't know, Sanibel.
I was gonna say
Why
Sanibel.
why are you going to Key West? It's just odd. I didn't really understand that one.
Maybe they have, like, a timeshare. You can pick so many places.
Yeah, that's just one I just again, I did not fully understand it, and I understand, like, weddings are expensive and, like, why spend so much money on your honeymoon, like, if it's not needed? But the Key West just didn't really make sense to me.
I'd rather spend more money on my honeymoon than my wedding.
Yeah, but that's because you don't even care about weddings.
Yeah, but I'd rather, like, love to, like, experience, like, the travel and stuff.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
the
it just
thought of
really
spending
depends.
$80,000 on a wedding to me is absurd, and that's,
I
like, the standard that's, like, the average now,
Yeah, I don't disagree.
and it's, like, couldn't even imagine asking my parents to help out on that. Like, I don't it makes me, like, sick to my stomach to think about spending $80,000 on one day.
Yeah, I'm so far from that part of my life that I really don't even think about it anymore.
I'm
Like
just invited to so many of them that it's, like I'm, like it's all I think about.
yeah, that's like I mean, how many weddings do you have this year? 5?
9?
9?
Yeah.
That means over $1,000,000. You're
That's
attending over
with
a
one of
mil
them getting That's with one of them getting canceled.
That's
2 of them
now
getting canceled actually this year.
you're attending $1 million worth of weddings.
Doesn't include bachelorette parties, bridal showers.
$2 million.
Literally, like, I bought my flight for Phoenix. It's like a $400 flight. That doesn't include like the transportation to the airport, from where I'm living to JFK. And then the transportation from the airport to the Airbnb and then back home. Like, because the time difference, I mean, oh God, I can't even think. It like literally stresses me out just thinking about it.
Of money, you know how like last week I was like, I'm pretty sure like grocery prices are going down. They're not.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I know they weren't. That's why I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, and you're like, yeah, they're going 100. I was like, I don't think so.
Well, it was just an odd day. I went to the grocery store and like granted, the brain was just not in my head that day. Like it wasn't wet. It was just literally not there. And I went to the grocery store last week and only spent $70. And I had like a perfect amount of groceries. Like it worked so well. I was like, wow, I don't remember the last time I spent $70 on groceries. It's usually way more than that. And then I went today and I spent 125.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That you were like, oh, it's definitely gone down. Like I was like, you're like trying to hype me up. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, I literally checked out. And granted, I did need like some stupid ass shit, like laundry detergent. I bought another espresso martini thing because that was really good. And it's kind of nice to have because then it obviously saves me money in the long run.
Yeah.
And then I needed new like seltzers because I've been on a big seltzer kick, like not like alcoholic ones, but like this, I don't know, water seltzers, flavored waters.
Oh, like flavored water. Yeah, no.
I've been on a big kick of those. I never really understood people that like drink them all the time. Like Short King loves those things. I just didn't understand why. I was like, just drink some water. I've now been having like at least one a day.
I like them. I kind of feel like it bites like that craving that you get for like soda or like bubbles sometimes.
Yeah, like alcohol.
Yeah, like I feel like it bites the thirst. Like when I wasn't drinking in January, I would get soda water with lemon and it would literally like it would cure it. Like I would be like, I'm not crazy because I'd like see like a glass. We'd be like at like an Italian place and they have like red wine and like just feels like I'm like I like need that and then I'd be like, okay, let me get like a soda water or a Coke and I feel like that instantly just curbed my craving.
Yeah, I'll usually just crack one. Sometimes if I'm feeling like fancy, I'll put it in a wine glass. Lately, I don't even do that. I crack it, I put some lime juice in it, and I'm like,
what are you drinking?
What do you mean?
Like, oh, Aldi brand? I meant like, I really like Poppy, but they're so expensive.
I've only had one Poppy ever, and it was because I bought it on my work card. And now that I'm not gonna have a work card, never again having one.
Yeah, no, they'll give them out for free sometimes here on the streets, and I'll take them.
Yeah, I did just do the Waterloos. I liked those.
Okay.
But that was just because they were randomly in Aldi one day, and I was like, I'll try this brand because they were like the same price. And then right now, this week, I'm back on the Aldi brand, which I feel like it's just like a LaCroix.
Yeah. Trader Joe's sells Spindrifts.
Oh, okay. See, okay. Do these all taste the same or like do they taste different?
The Poppy one has way more flavor to it.
Okay, I agree there. I don't think Poppy's like considered a like seltzer water.
I think it's considered a healthy soda.
I think it's a prebiotic soda.
Yeah, it's like a soda dupe. Yeah, but I don't think it's. I wish I could like. I want to buy more poppies, but I don't know. It's like it's expensive.
Maybe I need to meet the Poppy reps because that's how we get a lot of free Alanis in our showroom. It's like we know the reps now and they drop off cases every market. So they'll get us a new case next week, which is amazing. But maybe somehow we got to find out who the Poppy ones are so they can start dropping those off. Maybe they'll give us a whole vending machine.
Yeah, dude. No, like I said, there's sometimes in the summertime or the one summer I spent here, they were like giving them out.
Yeah, speaking of vending machines, I had a TikTok go viral.
Oh, yeah. What does that have to do with vending machines?
Oh, you haven't read the comments if you don't know. Everyone is commenting about like, oh, there should be a vending machine that does this, that checks IDs. And then that's my most read or most liked comment on the post. It has like, I think at this point over 4,000 likes.
Yeah.
And then everyone hates some people love the idea and they're like, yeah, my favorite dive bar has a high noon one. Yeah, we have one that does beer, whatever. And then there's all the other people that are like, this is a legal issue. You're not allowed to do that. Fake IDs can now be scanned. And with things like this, you're not able to watch how intoxicated someone is. This is why you need bartenders.
Bartenders aren't cutting you off. They very rarely cut you off.
Except for Isabel.
No, they just don't let me into the building.
Ma'am, you're not allowed here.
You're not allowed in here. But bartenders like aren't really cutting you off. They're just like,
Yeah.
I've seen somebody fall over, literally lay on the ground, and the bartender handed them a shot. I was like, are you serious? They're like, well, they paid for it. I'm like, but look at the state of this human being. Literally for like head like this, could like laying on
They
the
don't
bar.
even know that they paid for this.
Like, and it like, and like this was the worst part. This is Ed's. So like the bartender knows this person. I'm like, look, like, you know what I mean? Like, just take it off his tab or like give him a free shot next time you see him. You know what I mean? I'm like, this human being is going to die.
Yeah, and then they could get sued.
And then you can sue the bartender.
Yeah, so
thank
then
goodness his girlfriend was there to like, because I'm like, hopefully you're not getting in a car, because the amount of people that were getting into cars, and it's like still like people that were getting DUIs, were still getting into cars, and I'm like they got DUI and it got expunged.
Oh my god!
And you're driving like 10 miles. I don't know. I'm like, also the ones that live like 3 blocks away. I'm like, just walk.
Yeah, like what's the point of this?
Literally, like a quarter of a mile distance. I'm like, just walk.
Like you don't need to get behind a wheel. Yeah, but that's the most argued thing on the post. I don't know. Actually, the post has had so many arguing. Oh, and some rude guy commented back to me on some random comment that was like, you need to change your name on here. I was like, you don't know who Skinny Girl Haley is then. Rude. Do you even know what skinny means? Do you even get it? Like, clearly you're not in the know, so like get out. I wanted to comment back to him, but then I had already reported his comment, so I think the comment was deleted.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, rude guy, I don't like this. Because like, why is his comment allowed, but yet like they banned like so many other random comments?
I commented the word skinning, it's gotten banned.
That's see,
and then I commented, somebody asked what kind of dark martini I was. I said dirty, and that got banned.
That's what I'm saying. Like they banned the most random. They banned humor, and they don't ban bullying. And so I was like pissed off, and I was gonna comment back to him and be like, wild to comment that as I'm going viral, like fucking hater. But
yeah, I don't. People that you love to comment like the weirdest stuff. I will say though, the vending machine idea is good because then I don't feel like you have to tip you. I'm not tipping on vending machines.
Yeah, trust me, that's been an argue on the vending machine comment. It's like, yeah, and then automatic gratuity. And then everyone's like, well, no. And I'm like, oh God, this is a lot. I do think, and we have some of these in Atlanta. I think there should be more of them. I love the places that you can fill your own drink. Like we have one here called Pour, and like you get a little wristband. There's like they have, I literally think over 100 spouts, and you can go up and you scan your wristband and then you pour your drink, and that's that. You don't have to worry about anyone doing it for you, whatever. I will say at the end, you do have to like go check in, cash out, give your wristband back, and then they're like, here, do you want a tip? And I'm like, why the fuck am I tipping? I just poured every single one of these drinks for myself. Do I get the tip? Does the tip come to me? But I think we need more of those places. And we have a beer one and we have a wine one in Atlanta. But
yeah, or Charlotte had a couple wine ones, and then they had a wine and beer one. I like that also, like, so you got a limit, and then you had to go and check back
Yep.
in with the person to just make sure that you were okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
how we were too.
yeah, and then they did also have like a liquor bar, but that's like a bartender. And that's fine. Like if you want to stand in line for a liquor drink, like that's fine, but like I'm just gonna pour my own. And then I'm like, you know what, I guess oh, they started getting like seltzer-ish, type of stuff.
Yeah, they have some on our I haven't been to Pour in ages, so I don't even really fully know because I don't drink anymore. But they had I know like it's mostly beers and ciders and everything, but then they do have like some random like cocktails and like Trulies or something on it as well. One girl commented on hers that her place has a CBD one, which Park Tavern also now has CBD drinks. And I can't imagine being out in public around people drinking these CBD drinks. It kind of scares me.
I can't either. I get so awkward on CBD.
I don't know how I would function. Like I would 100% need to try that at home before I try that anywhere in public.
I agree. That's just not
Because,
for me.
no, I might have a full panic attack in the middle of Park Tavern because of this. And so
Yeah,
they have
I took a hit of a tiny hit off of this girl's joint when I first moved to New York, and I was like, I'm out.
scary.
I was like, oh my god, I'm acting so awkward. Like this was like my first time meeting this girl, but like I knew her boyfriend, so like and him and I were good friends. But then like her friends started coming, and I'm like, all right, like I am being weird, and maybe I wasn't, but I was just I gotta go. I think I left after like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I can't
listened
do that in
to
public.
the Almost Friday podcast. I'm trying to find some new podcasts since I'm running more, so I am catching up on my podcast more often. And the guy was saying he was like in some city because he's touring right now, and he was like, "Oh, I'll go get like some weed, and I'll go like I want to say he was like I'll go to the High Museum or something, which is in Atlanta. So I don't think it was the High Museum, but he was gonna go to some museum that's very well known, and." He went to the store, and of course they were like, we don't do actual marijuana, but we do like Delta 8 and Delta 9. And he was like, okay, well, which one like feels the most like weed? And they gave him one, and he was like, I think he took a gummy, and he was like, I had that gummy and I was so dead. He was like, I went to the museum, and the whole time it was miserable because the whole time I'm like, am I standing too close to this person? Am I standing too close to the painting? Am I moving too fast? Am I moving too slow? He was like,
how long has it been? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, the whole thing was miserable. I had just had to get out.
Yeah, no, I don't like that feeling,
Me either. It also just reminds me of when you texted me this past weekend and you said, I just ate some mushrooms, and I had to confirm if they were like the ones you eat like as food or if it was a drug.
Yeah, I think like microdosing is legal here. I think you can buy it at stores and stuff.
I need to try it again. I tried it on Halloween, but we did so little because the three of us had never done it before. So like I don't think we did enough for any of us to really feel anything. And
All
he
it
also
does is just make you feel happy. Like I don't like that's all I feel. I'm just like I feel really happy. Like I'm like, hey, let's go.
Yeah, the issue is like I feel like I'm usually a pretty happy person anyway when I'm like out in these situations. So I'm like, am I
Me
feeling
too.
more happy or am I
Yeah,
feeling less happy? I
I think
don't know.
more I think
And
more happy because I'm pretty happy too. And then I'm like,
I'm
I
even
don't know.
happier. I'm
Yeah,
smiling
I
so
don't think it like
much.
does too much other than just makes you feel like happy
Yeah,
because
the guy that gave them to us, he did tell us, he was like, these are ones that like just make you feel happy. And he was like, there's other ones that like make you feel other things and see things and stuff, but that's not these. And we were like,
I don't
okay.
want those, I don't think. I don't want to
I,
start like seeing things when I'm out in public.
I think like there's a time and a place for sure.
Maybe like a concert, but like I'm not doing that at a bar.
Oh yeah, God no. Imagine like at a dive bar or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
And I don't know. It reminds me of like when I had friends that would like pop a Molly to like go to the Ivy. And I was like, we're just going to the Ivy. Like, well, why are you doing all that? You're doing too
Yeah,
much.
people go hard for like the weirdest things. I've actually never tried a Molly.
I've done it a few times, and I would do it again. But it's mainly it keeps you like really awake. And like,
That's
why
good.
are you trying to stay really awake to go to a bar that closes at 2? No
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I feel like I don't know. I'm kind of good on the drug train.
Yeah, well, you had your time on it, and then you were like, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm good. I did it when I was young. A weed
That
life.
was fun while it lasted, but peace.
Yeah, exactly. Which
All
is for
right,
the
well,
best.
we like full yapped for an hour, so that was easy. And
Mm.
I guess we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Wrapping it up. Bye, y'all.